Although he was born in Germany, Peter Thiel moved to the United States shortly after, where he studied at a renowned university and went on to create a billion-dollar company. But how did he really get to that point? Well, you really can't tell the story of how Peter Thiel became a tech billionaire without talking about the PayPal Mafia. Who is the PayPal Mafia then? We'll tell you all about it in this video. The PayPal Mafia. Well, this story starts out with a handheld personal digital assistant known as Palm Pilots. Before the era of the smartphone and more advanced technology, these top-notch handheld PCs were one of the best gadgets of their time. Since they were so popular in the 90s, Peter Thiel and Max Levchin decided to create a technology in 1998 that would allow people to use this device for person-to-person payments. Thiel had met Levchin while delivering a guest lecture at Stanford. Levchin, on the other hand, studied computer science at the University of Illinois and started Net Meridian, an automated marketing software company. The plan was to use Palm Pilots to send money, a task that was not as easy as it is today. Back then, you could go as far as sending a check through the mail, and you could imagine the trouble involved in this. Even the credit and debit card infrastructure of that era was limited to just merchants. So Thiel and his good friend created a digital wallet. Together they founded the company FieldLink, which was eventually renamed to Confinity. Meanwhile, several miles away, someone who would also change the course of their lives forever was busy with an innovation of his own. We're talking about Elon Musk, a familiar name, right? Musk had a similar plan, but the focus was on creating an online bank. This child prodigy from South Africa had already developed and sold his game called Blastar for $500 when he was just 12 years old. The little genius later sold his first startup, Zip2, at 27 years old for a whopping $307 million. The money he got from this deal went into creating Xcom alongside Greg Curry, his friend and business partner. This was a first online bank, and soon enough, Harris Fricker brought his knowledge of the banking industry into the team. However, they had serious issues as both Elon Musk and Harris Fricker wanted to run the company in completely different ways. It was a union that wasn't going to work. Fricker eventually left to start his company, but left with most of the key engineers in X.com. Musk hired more, and the company started its rapid recovery until it went online the night before Thanksgiving. And so this licensed bank came to life and was giving out about $20 to people for signing up. This was a great strategy, since it also had all the functionalities of a normal bank with no extra person-to-person payment services, which Confinity was created to do. People bought into this idea, and they had no more than 200,000 people signed up within the first few months of going live. The war between Confinity and X.com. Confinity was watching all these closely and had been working hard on its own payment service. They renamed the company PayPal and started the online service as an afterthought. However, people could now transfer money using PayPal online, even if they didn't have a Palm Pilot. Again, they tried to mimic the tactics of X.com and offered people $10 for registering. By 2000, the competition had started to heat up, and the PayPal guys were working hard on their marketing efforts. During this time, eBay had been around for about 5 years and gained more than 10 million users in that time. Therefore, they were the perfect platform for person-to-person payment services, since millions of eBay users were badly in need of this. These users didn't sell enough on the website to qualify for merchant accounts. What this means was that they had to wait about a week for the mailed checks from their buyers before they could receive any money. This unnecessary waiting period was getting both the buyers and sellers frustrated until PayPal stepped in. With their marketing efforts, they got eBay to add a PayPal logo to seller auctions, and this would give them a $10 referral bonus as well. As you can imagine, X.com quickly came into the picture as soon as they saw how well PayPal was doing with eBay. Another battle began with X.com trying to include their HTML logo as well on the auction site. Then eBay made a move that finally got the guys at PayPal and X.com to work together. The company acquired BillPoint, a credit card processing company that would help them carry out person-to-person transactions as well. This was new competition that PayPal could do without, so Levchin developed a charity bot that would search for some auctions and let sellers know before bidding that they were buying items for charity. They would then have to sign up on PayPal if they won. This worked for a while until the start of the spending war between PayPal and X.com. Although PayPal had a lot of customers, they were quickly running out of money since they spent as much as $100,000 daily. X.com, on the other hand, had lots of spare cash to spend, but they weren't as popular as PayPal. At this point, they realized they needed each other and could work against a common enemy in their tech world, eBay. Finally, in 2000, the companies joined forces as X.com, while Levchin was a chief technical officer and Elon Musk was the chairman of the company. While they retained X.com as the company name, they still provided PayPal service branding and were under the leadership of Bill Harris. One of their strategies was to get PayPal customers to sign up for X.com bank accounts, but it was obvious this was an epic failure after 2 months. The company was losing money fast, and a lot of people within the company didn't agree with the CEO's methods. Harris also wanted to introduce charges for sending money to others, but Thiel didn't like this. After a lot of differences, Thiel decided to resign as the executive vice president. Elon Musk gave his role as chairman to Thiel to get help with damaged morale. While the internal drama was going on, eBay was getting stronger with BillPoint. They had started a partnership with Wells Fargo and could add BillPoint logos on auctions. It was more difficult for sellers to add PayPal logos, especially with a new rule that they couldn't be larger than 88 pixels. eBay also introduced free listing days, but PayPal continued to grow despite all of these. However, their problems were far from over. PayPal was still losing money, and they had to upgrade to a new platform since the old one couldn't accommodate their millions of users. As a CEO, Musk wanted to phase out the PayPal name completely, and the rumors were he wanted this to happen badly because he had spent about $1 million on an X.com domain name. Employees were upset about this decision, but when Elon Musk went on vacation shortly after giving the order to remove the PayPal name from their website, he was removed as CEO. They didn't face many challenges after this, but PayPal moved from losing millions of dollars to raising $63 million in 2002 when they went public. Soon after, eBay came knocking with an offer for PayPal. $1.5 billion was a really juicy offer that Thiel couldn't refuse, and this was a moment that led to the making of the tech billionaire. Musk, who still had most of the stock with PayPal, got about $250 million from this deal, and they all put the money to good use, investing in Facebook and other tech startups. One of the best moves that Peter Thiel made as an angel investor was to put his money on Facebook. Sean Parker, the former co-founder of Napster and then the president of Facebook, was searching for investors for Facebook at the time. First, he went over to Reid Hoffman, who was the CEO of LinkedIn, but Hoffman turned down the offer. He felt it would interfere with his duties at LinkedIn. When Sean Parker approached Thiel alongside Mark Zuckerberg, they got along really well, and by August of 2004, they had concluded plans for Thiel to put about $500,000 in angel investment. His profit would be a place on the Facebook board at 10.1% in returns. Well, you know how that story goes. Thiel's $500,000 grew to billions of dollars in less than 2 decades. He still has about $2 million worth of shares left after selling several of them over the years. Facebook is not the only company that Peter Thiel invested in. He also funded several other tech startups created by his former pals at PayPal. Thiel put his money in Slide, founded by Max Levchin, LinkedIn, founded by Reid Hoffman, Yelp, created by Jeremy Stoppelman, and Jenny and Yammer, both created by David Sachs. Today, Peter Thiel is one of the most influential people in the world, with a net worth of almost $5 billion as of March 2021. Now you know the insane story of how Peter Thiel became a tech billionaire, and that's a wrap. What startup right now do you think has the potential to become a billion-dollar company? Let us know in the comments. If you like this video, well, we're always posting amazing content like this, so don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out. Thanks for watching.